The dog was abandoned at the airport. Half a year has passed. Its owner still hasn't come back to find it, but it comes here every day to wait for its master. The captain felt sad about this. He called a reporter. Record its story. In the newspaper, let its owner come back to pick it up. When senior leaders see it, and specially asked for an exclusive interview. To hype. As soon as the news comes out, countless tourists flew to the airport just to see the dog. Some even took photos as souvenirs. This makes the airport like a scenic spot, only didn't wait for the master to appear. No one feels the dog's mood at all. I don't know how many years have passed. How many times did the dog wait for the 18th plane? Day in and day out, year after year, still not waiting for the master. It was completely disappointed. These people are more cruel. They fenced it off, make it an exhibition commodity. At this time, the dog has begun to refuse to eat, intend to die loyal to the master. Dogs are in the same mood as the weather. It rained heavily. Jack walked to it in the heavy rain, plead with it to be strong. Master, it doesn't matter if you don't want it. Jack will always be with the dog. At this time, Jack was crying. He took off his clothes, cover Parma, then lie on it and keep it warm. It's like this until dawn. The dog was finally moved by Jack's sincerity. Then it began to cheer up. It licked Jack happily, followed Jack home, live an ordinary and painless life. But just then, the leader called. Let them take the dog to meet its owner. Although Jack is very reluctant, he doesn't want this day to come, but Parma is someone else's dog after all. He had to take it to the airport. Leaders have long arranged for reporters to broadcast live. Let's have a reunion between the dog and its owner. But when Parma saw its owner, it has no impulse to step forward. It stays where it is. The owner motioned it to come over. The dog feels afraid. It is afraid that its master will abandon it again. Afraid that its little owner Jack will be sad. But it moved forward slowly, licking the familiar stranger. Jack also endured injustice and returned the dog rope to him. He fought back his tears and left. Then the captain found the dog's owner, plead with him to give up the dog to Jack. I didn't expect to be directly rejected by him. Then the captain asked him how much he wanted. He is willing to pay any amount of money. He didn't want to see Jack sad. The dog owner lost his temper. It's not about how much money. I don't want to come back to pick up Parma, but the senior leader told me to come back and pick it up, or I'll be fired. The captain finally understood. It turned out that all this was their play. The ceremony officially began. Palma looked at Jack reluctantly, but he was dragged away by his master. But when they got to the steps, the dog stopped. This made reporters and the audience very confused. Then there was the incessant barking. Then it broke free. Rush up. But suddenly the dog captain stepped on the rope. Jack wanted to rush up and was firmly held. At this time, the senior leaders also asked them to get on the plane quickly. He doesn't want to make a fool of himself in front of so many people. All this happened to be seen by the captain. The supervisor is also sad. Everyone thought it would end like this, but the captain gave up the flight. He will give up his dream of going abroad for his son, and the co-pilot gave up. Then the stewardess stepped forward, asked the dog owner to show the quarantine certificate of the dog. Senior leaders said they didn't need proof. His name is supervisor. Let them stop making trouble. But the supervisor said to the dog owner, you can't get on the plane without quarantine certificate. The senior leader threatened to dismiss the supervisor if he didn't obey. The dog owner looked at everything in front of him, and the poor dog in front of him. He reluctantly let go of the dog, let it pursue the life at once. But when the senior leader asked him why he wanted to let the dog go, he said my dog's name was AMA, and this dog is called Parma. It's not my dog. Now the leaders have nothing to say. This is the end of the story. The last paragraph of the film is really touching. The captain gave up his dream for his son. The supervisor is not afraid to lose his job for them. Everyone has made a choice for this loyal dog. In fact, from the day when the boy and the dog got wet, the dog takes it as its master. I just didn't expect its old owner to come back. A loyal dog identified its owner. I won't change my master casually, unless it's born again.